So if a picture tells 1,000 words and video 1,000 pictures, imagine what we could do with 1,000 videos. What's for effect? My name's Ando, and this is Happening. Now, we've all been there, hyped up for an event for weeks, like South by South, like South Summit. So you spend ages getting ready, you pay for overpriced flights and or Ubers, and even queue up in the cold sometimes, only to find that the whole vibe isn't right, the music's off, or you're majorly overdressed. You see, not knowing what to expect can be so frustrating and anxiety inducing, especially if you're not a fan of big crowds or have mobility issues. You want to see what's happening before you decide. So what's happening? Happening is a crowdsourced event preview app that lets you request real-time multi-view videos of any location through the eyes of the community, letting you confidently explore new experiences in real life without the fear of the unknown. You simply request a vibe check of any location and receive a live streamed video preview of what's happening, recorded by people who are actually there. And when there are multiple people recording at the same location, our patented technology uses augmented reality and a blockchain style codec to combine their perspectives into one immersive multi-view video for a more trusted experience. And I'll give you a bit of a demo of that. And this is camera mode. To flick that around, hey guys, my name's Ando, founder, CEO, and I'm gonna show you what's happening from my back garden. First thing I'm gonna show you is the map view. Again, just to give you a bit of an appreciation of what's happening in the local area. Secondly, our augmented reality overlays. It lets you know where the bars and the restaurants are relative to what you can see in your viewport. And you can press those just to give you a bit of information about what you can see. But the third thing here is what you're here for. As you can see, you've got an augmented reality marker telling me that my beautiful model and my beautiful wife is over there. And beautifully, I can just swipe in her direction. If I just start my camera, I can swipe in her direction to get another vantage of what's going on. And as you can see, I can still see what I'm recording. And my friends, this is happening. Thank you so much. Okay, so this means we're able to verify time and place, detect post-production edits, but also let you jump between perspectives in that Google Street View-like experience as if you was physically there. But for a second, let's just consider some of the wider applications of our technology, from navigating film scenes with VR or sport, to security, police body cams, judiciary evidence, and even citizen journalism. Yes, the possibilities are endless, but for now, we're focusing on user-generated content at events because it's low-hanging fruit, and because our focus groups have all indicated that not only use our platform there, but also encourage their friends to. So we're also pursuing early revenue opportunities from event sponsorship, ticketing, and technology licensing in what is an absolutely huge market. And after launching our beta just last September, in partnership with 3 university campuses, a network of 100 event vendors, we've already secured 150,000 in technology licensing revenue and a 350,000 innovation grant from the UK government, as well as multiple awards and endorsements from the likes of TechCrunch, South by Southwest, Pharrell Williams, and even a cheeky tweet from Sir Richard Branson. But after analysing our feedback, and it's interesting what Stuart was saying, we realized that we wasn't speaking to a clear need and a specific problem. So we took a bold decision to focus in on a problem which was quite close to home. Having endured 4 spinal injuries since my early 20s at uni, and also with a co-founder who's battled depression, we know firsthand how encouraging real-life social interaction by removing the fear of the unknown reduces the levels of social anxiety currently experienced by 9 out of 10 young people, made even worse by a global pandemic. So now, just 3 months after pivoting towards a more specific pain point, our team, featuring some of the UK's leading technologists, have succeeded in achieving almost the impossible by validating our problem across student networks, as well as on a trade mission to South by Southwest, sponsored by the UK government. We've refocused, rebranded, and are about to relaunch this solution in the App Store in the coming days. I'm literally pushing code as we speak. But this is where we need your help. We're seeking investors who share our vision for a more connected, inclusive, and authentic world. Our team is agile, our brand is hugely memorable, and our product is so clearly needed. This isn't just exciting, this is happening. Thank you very much.
I think, my friend, that deserves a round of applause. I have seen you talk about your idea in a couple of different forums now, and that's one of the best ways I've heard you tell that narrative. That's amazing. Well done. Matt, you have the honor of the first question, so please jump off mute. Let's see what you want to do with this one.
Yeah, that was an awesome pitch. I really love the multi-view video. That was definitely a highlight of that one. I got a couple of questions actually. One around kind of in large scale events and having everyone kind of doing live streaming like that. What kind of bandwidth is going to be? What kind of, have you got like video compression to make sure that people's kind of free 4G, 5G kind of network aren't going to get too much strain?
Yeah, it's a really good question. The short answer to that is currently no. We are just a little bit beyond an MVP right now, but actually we're working with partners such as Ericsson, who are, I guess, one of the world leaders in 5G, to actually get our platform sort of set up in a lot of these event spaces, leveraging those 5G networks. So we definitely see ourselves as a sort of 5G network. However, you do speak to a really important point around sort of bandwidth, and we're doing some clever things here. So the way we've got a mesh network, a peer-to-peer mesh network, it means that actually you don't necessarily need to be connected to a mast to see perspectives from around you. Of course, stream out to remote viewers, you would need to be connected to a mast, but to actually see what's happening in the front row or see what's happening backstage, you can do that utilizing a peer-to-peer mesh network, the one similar to the one I showed you in the video. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. And I guess another question, I know you're kind of MVP, so this might be kind of one for more forward thinking, but and this is obviously the side of when technology gets used for the intention it wasn't meant to be for. So is there any moderation, like automated moderation around the video event live streams and stuff like that? Or have considerations around it?
Oh, absolutely. There's quite a lot of legislation that we kind of need to follow, not just for sort of moderation or, I guess, appropriate and inappropriate content, but also considering things like mechanical licensing and royalties. Thankfully, number one, it's a well-trodden path. Precedent is already set there with platforms in front of us. But in addition to that, under sort of EU rules, we actually sort of fall currently below a threshold where it becomes a sort of a serious issue for us. And but when we get to the point whereby we have masses of data and masses of content that needs moderating, we definitely consider that a good problem to have from a growth perspective anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And that was all my questions, but yeah, like I said again, it was an awesome pitch. Well done.
Fantastic, thanks. I think we'll pop over to Tiana for a product viewpoint and then over to Pedro for the final question.
Super cool pitch, Ando. I have two questions. One is about the incentive for people to actually video and post. Imagine I'm having a great time at a concert. Why would I do that, right? So about this incentive, have you worked it out in a way? And another question is, as you mentioned, validation is super fundamental. And you did mention you invested some effort into that, but maybe you could share some details about that with us.
Yes, absolutely. I will take the first question first, incentive. So we are seeing our platform similar to like a Waze for navigation. And what we're actually doing is leveraging a community. This is a community which you benefit from, but also you contribute to. So similar to, I remember the first time using Waze and sort of suggesting that, oh, there was a bit of traffic coming up, and being rewarded. And I got there was a gamification thing that instantly got me hooked on the thing, and it's like now I'm addicted to these things. And yes, absolutely, there's a gamification strategy which we are looking to implement thanks to Pedro, but also there is the fact that we have this community which people contribute to, you're going to be in a position where you want to see how long the queue in Starbucks is. So you might send a request one day, which means if you're standing in a Starbucks queue and somebody sends a request, you'd be also incentivized to do that, because the more we contribute to our community, the better the community is for everybody. And that is the principle which we've seen work out in so many other platforms, which we're also sort of leveraging on this platform. And the second question was surrounding validation. Yes, so we knew that we had this cool technology, and it wasn't necessarily, and everybody agreed it was cool. Like nobody disagreed. We got so many awards from it. It's like, it was great, but the traction wasn't being picked up as much as we thought it was. And actually, it started coming across as a video collaboration tool and a bit of a poor man's Snapchat. So we threw that away and we said, look, we need to be a utility. We need to speak to a problem. And we went immediately with our theory. We went out to our focus groups. So we're working with 3 universities around London at the moment. We have ambassadors on the ground, ambassadors that speak to people, and we've surveyed them across the UK. In addition to this, we went to South by Southwest, which is a much larger event, and this was the interesting thing, because in an event like South by Southwest and indeed South Summit, there are multiple things going on at any given time, and every single person we spoke to was basically sport for choice, and they wanted an ability to see what was happening in these places before sort of wandering to the other side of town to sort of attend a session or attend a seminar. And we saw this play out so many times with so many people that we spoke to, and yeah, it's a pretty exciting time to be in the company right now.
Sounds great. So you did incorporate the feedback and made some changes according to it. Great.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well done. Thank you, Ando.
Pedro, just remember, short and sweet, just like me, okay?
All right. Congrats, Ando. I'm super proud for you. Super, super, super. Can't imagine how. Congratulations. So how do you see the event organizer? Can he be a blocker? Do you need his permission? Or is he a possible revenue stream or?
Oh, 100% partnership opportunities. Event vendors are going to be key to our strategy. In terms of our partnership with them, we are offering additional revenue opportunities for them, additional exposure, access to UGC, which from our current research and development grant with Innovate UK, we know event vendors want access to user-generated content because it makes their events look better. And yeah, we see it as a partnership. We can provide additional revenue, additional exposure, things like geo-fence notifications, which we're already using for our Vibe requests. We're able to leverage that for events. There's an event starting in half an hour to the people within a certain geo-fenced area. And this is something that platforms just aren't doing at the moment, and actually we are quite well positioned to take advantage of this. So event vendors, event venues, event promoters are key to our strategy.